Hi there, welcome to Antakya, or as it was called, Antioch, back in biblical times. This is where the first Christians congregated as they fled from the persecution in Israel after the death of Jesus. So this town today is half Arabic, half Turkish. It's in Turkey, but the language that they speak on the street is a mixture of Turkish and Arabic. And here's two Arabic guys playing backgammon on the street during the day. And what I'm doing here today is I'm going to go to the cave church of St. Peter. It's up in the hills. It's where the early Christians used to gather. It basically, it goes down as the first church. So I'm searching for it. So I go up the hillside. This is a few miles outside of town, and there are many little caves on the side of this hill. And then I come to the cave church of St. Peter. This is it. This is the front that was built by the Crusaders. They came here and they knew their Bible, so they found this cave, and the local tradition had it that this cave was the cave where the first Christians gathered a bit outside of town to be away from the authorities. And the Crusaders built this front on it, to make it look more like a church, I suppose, do it up. So we're going up the steps, and here we are in the front door, and this is what we see. It's not a very big place, as you can see. There's an altar, and there's a statue of St. Peter up there. And St. Peter lived here, and St. Paul lived here. And St. Peter was the first bishop of this place, even before he was the first bishop of Rome. So this place is called the Cave Church of St. Peter. This is an explanation of the thing, and you could pause this photo story if you like to read this. Gives you some interesting information. There's the throne behind the altar. There's a service said here every year, I think, by the Greek Orthodox Church, just to keep the place alive as a church. There, this is the back tunnel. This is supposedly where the early Christians, if they were surrounded by the authorities, they would use this as a back entrance, where they would escape out into the hills and escape persecution. So we're going back out again. This is the doorway from the inside. And as I was finished and I was sitting outside on a bench, having a bit of food or something, I saw this happening. Inside the church, inside the cave, there's a kind of a spring. There's a drip of water coming down, and it's supposed to have miraculous properties, medicinal properties. And these two girls, they're probably Christians, but then again, if this has miraculous properties, they could be Muslims even. They're bringing in their grandmother or their mother into the spring probably to get a cure for her arthritis or whatever she's suffering from. So I like this picture. So thank you very much for listening. There'll be more to follow. Bye bye.